So I guess starting us off, you've been in the NHL a long time and are known as one of the most toughest players in the league. I did speak to the current athletic trainer of where you got your start at the Rivermen, and I'm sure you've worked with plenty of medical staffers throughout the years. What can you tell me about what it's been like to see the importance of player health and safety grow in the sport of hockey?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. I think head injuries especially as of late, have been taken a lot more seriously. Back in the day, I think you can get knocked out and you'd be back on the ice if you even had to leave the ice. But now I think, you have to go through the protocol. You have to make sure, 100% that you're good to go. And, I think it's important. Like, you don't want to mess with your head. You don't want to, that's long-term health, that can affect you. So, it's good to know that they're taking it seriously.
Yeah, and then I guess, as kind of not an older player, but as a more tenured player in the league, why do you think that's important, especially
You
now
can you
that
can
we're
say
kind of
older player.
seeing
That's okay.
the league trend younger? What's it like knowing that that's important for the younger players coming in?
Well, I think their health is just going to be taken care of a little bit more, and the long-term health, especially. I think guys who've been in the league a little bit longer maybe wasn't taken care of as much, and not to the fault of anybody. I think that's just how the world, society, how the league kind of took care of it, and as more research has come out, the importance of head injuries has got a little bit larger. So. I think it's good that these young guys are going to be taken care of. It's sad when you hear ex players having CTE and having problems later on in life because they've had brain injuries, head injuries. So yeah, good that they're taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. And then building off of that, as an enforcer yourself, a lot of your role does center around protecting the other players on the ice. With the Sharks in particular, with this roster, we're seeing a really stacked roster with a lot of youth talent. Do you kind of look at that as an honor and being able to protect these younger players and kind of serve as a mentor figure for them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I've been in this role, but I've never been on a team kind of that's had some struggles the last couple of years, and now all of a sudden we're on the come up, and you have young superstars like Mac and Smitty, and a couple of these guys that have been called up recently that are really coming into their own, and it's good to watch them kind of grow. Right in front of my eyes, right in front of everybody's eyes, but. It's definitely been fun to protect those guys and kind of teach them, whatever I can. I'm not going to teach them much on the ice, but off the ice, how to be a pro and how to carry yourself, whatever they need. It's been great being able to help them out.
And then going back to you, what can you tell me about your overall passion for physicality in the sense of getting fans and the crowd in particular excited and worked up?
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite part of the sport. I played football when I was younger, and I was very physical, on the field. And I think my dad made me that way. He was pretty tough on me in sports, and he did not let me play soft ever. He was my football coach, and he kind of turned me into the player I am. Not in football, anyways, and that just kind of translated into hockey. But yeah, I love that part of the sport. I don't watch any sports that don't have much physicality in it. So, football and hockey are the two that I watch. But yeah.
Yeah, and then a fun one for you. You're clearly a really respected presence in this locker room in particular. I know you talked a little bit about this on the podcast with Kat, but how does it feel to be trusted with things like carving the turkeys and the shark tooth necklace and stuff like that?
I don't know if I should have been trusted with the turkey. That's the first time I've ever carved one, so I had to YouTube it. But I'm not too mad at the effort I put in. It came out pretty well. You can YouTube anything though, and you can get it done. So, yeah, I mean, I think as an older guy, guys, trust me with more than the average players that I've been around. But I kept it to myself. I've never carved a turkey till after.
Okay, and then I guess, with it that being your first time, do you think it went over pretty well?
I think so. The presentation was nice. The slices were pretty even. Yeah, I thought I did a decent job. You gotta ask the other guys though.
Okay. But then like so just how does it feel to kind of be trusted with fun things like that?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been, I don't play a lot of minutes. I don't play power play. I don't kill. So, guys like me, you got to contribute in different ways, and I try and bring the team together off the ice. Whether it's on the road, at home, parties. And, I'm not the only guy. We have other guys that do that. But, I try to bring energy anywhere I can in this team on and off the ice. And, that's just been my role.
Perfect. And then last question for you. You kind of answered this without me having to directly ask, but a lot of my story does center around concussion rates going down across the league as a whole. And I feel like you kind of talked about the concussion checks a little bit in particular after the Columbus game, but what's it like for you knowing that the league is kind of making specific improvements in relation to concussion and health?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on the first question, but I think it's just important. You want to take care of your players. You want to make sure that they're healthy, they can have a long career, and they can have a healthy life when they're done their career. I think that's the most important. A lot of guys go on and have a wife and kids that when hockey's done, they want to have a good life with them, and not have injuries affect that relationship and that part of their life. So. It's good to see them taken care of.
Okay, perfect. Those were all of the questions I had for you. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. I know player health isn't the easiest topic to touch on, so I promise I'm not going to let you down with this, and I appreciate
Very
you being
good.
so open about it.
No problem.